Hi, Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. Hi, Zax.
Well, it has been a minute, hasn't it?
I think
But
it's been more than one, but it
just a
has been a
couple.
while.
Uh,
It's
but
it's
we
been so long. I have a new microphone and I sound different now. That's wild.
be wild and crazy mad over here. In case you didn't read the title and you just blindly click on things, we are back at it again with Greenhouse Academy. This time we are covering episode 7, and this one, just to give you a little heads up on what you're in for, we're going to cover politics. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
cover
Morality,
uh, morality. Yeah, that's yeah, because there's
politics,
base.
and morality.
Yeah, just in case it's been a minute and you haven't caught up with the series or our series or both, either one. Uh, they there's an A plot and a B plot. I don't really know which is which, but there's what the Eagles are doing, and then
Especially for episode 7. I feel like they're both
yeah.
B plots.
Well, I guess yeah, but yeah. So there's what the Eagles are doing. There's what the Ravens are doing, and then there's the C plot, which is whatever evil stuff evil Judy's got going up her sleeve.
Yeah.
So that's how they're all broken up. Uh, so it starts off, I guess, since they came first, this will be the A plot, the Eagles. And in case you forgot, a few episodes back or whatever, Daniel got, got tasered in the ankle.
Mm-hmm.
And, and so he's no longer captain of the Eagles.
Yeah.
So
If you taser
uh,
yourself in the ankle, you're no longer captain. It's just the way it goes.
he's also gonna be expelled because he's also dead to Lewis for getting tasered in the ankle. They just don't show us that part yet. So he yeah, so Sophie has volunteered. She's like, I'd like to be the new captain of the Eagles. And everyone was pretty much on board with that. But then Alex had this idea that Daniel should have Parker run because Parker does whatever Daniel says. So it'd basically be like he was still captain. Emphasis on this was Alex's idea. So we start off with Parker sitting there and he's like, I don't know how to be president, you guys. And they're like, no, just be yourself. Talk to people about the issues and you'll be fine. You'll be golden, man. So, and he's like, okay, I could do that. I could talk to people. Shakes some hands. So he goes up to this girl, I don't know, Nancy or something, and he's like, hey, I just wanted
Nancy or
to.
something.
I don't know. Who cares?
I know, it's just funny.
So he goes up to her and he's like, Nancy or something, I just wanted to formally ask you for your vote. And she's like, okay, what are you going to do for us? Because Sophie's going to make sure that we only use environmentally safe cleaning supplies for our locker rooms, which is such a weird, like, I mean, that's such a weird promise to make.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about this, like, why do they care?
Here's a better question I have. Why are the students allowed to choose their own cleaning supplies for the locker room?
If we're gonna start asking that question, then we're gonna have to ask why do they live in co-ed dorms?
I know, but like you would think that the cleaning supplies would be supplied to them. Like, are they gonna make them go out and buy their
They have
own
a
cleaning
maintenance
supplies?
guy. Yeah,
Don't they have janitors?
Yeah, I would assume like, cause like what's his name? Oh gosh, I can't remember his name, but the gray-haired gentleman is the Marcus.
Yeah.
He is the head of the maintenance department. I would assume he does the buying, but I guess she's going to like go to him and be like, hey, what did you buy this month? Make sure this isn't vegan. This killed a tree. Yeah, like she's gonna oversee. But like chemicals are pretty toxic. So I don't know what to tell you, Sophie. um, so, uh, so that happened, and then he's like, did he even have an answer? Did he have anything to offer?
I don't think so. I don't
I think
remember.
I think as soon as she asked a question, he was just like, I vote for me?
Yeah, you should do that. Vote for me. I would like that.
And then she's like, maybe next time, Parker. She walks off. And then the whole time, Alex and Parker are just judging him. And I'm like,
And they told him to go out there and be himself. And as soon as he goes out there and be himself, they're all really mad at him.
they're like, ugh, how could you goof this up? Like,
You goofed it real bad, son. You goofed it real bad.
real bad. And
Despite doing exactly what we told you to do.
exactly.
And this is somehow your fault.
Everything's Parker's fault. And so,
Excuse me, I have the hiccups.
oh, that's okay. Get scared. Well, you'll get scared for episode 8. So what happened? All right, yeah. So now we go to, okay, mind you, the Eagles are in their dorms pretty much the whole episode. But the Ravens, well, I guess there's a coach and there's a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ravens are learning today, and I guess the Eagles are just out of luck.
Yeah, the Eagles are, there's only, they only have one of each, so only one person can learn at a time.
So, so while the Eagles are handling this emergency team captain election or whatever, the Ravens are outside. There's like a train set up in front
a trolley.
of them.
It's like a little trolley train. It's like a Thomas the Tank Engine train thing.
Yeah, set up, and the teacher's standing on the other side, and they're all looking at it like, "What are we doing today?" And the teacher presents them with the classic trolley problem. For those of you who don't know, there's 20 people on a bus, and they're gonna crash into these 5 people.
But if you
unless
if you hit the switch, they'll crash into like these other 10 people or something.
Yeah, like basically, it's like,
I
are you
can't
gonna
remember if
save
in the original one it's either 5 or 10, or if it's like equal both. I don't
Yeah.
actually remember.
Yeah, but the basic point is either 20 people die or 5 people die.
Yeah.
And so right off the bat, they're all basically like, well, we'll just kill the 5 off. And one thing, okay, also, because Haley, she's part of the Ravens, and Leo kissed her a few episodes back. I don't know if you remember that when they had the sweet. Although, to be fair, she kissed him.
Mm-hmm.
She was having a grumpy day, and he was like, hey, I'll make you feel better. And he taught her to play a few chords on the guitar. And she just goes for it. She just kisses him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next episode, he's kind of just like talking like business as usual. And then he's like, well, I'm not really looking for anything serious right now. So technically, she doesn't really have a right to be mad. But she is. And so she's like, oh, and then he's like, so everyone pitches their idea. They're like, I think we should just kill the 5 people. And then Haley's like, no, you can't just kill people. That's murder. And then Leo's like, just flip a coin, because it's going to be bad either way. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, no, you go, sorry.
Oh, no, you're...
No,
she's just
go.
like...
You go.
Okay. She's like, she's like, yeah, that's just like you to not make a real decision. Like... Okay.
And then the teacher's like, oh, also, pulls out a picture of their mom and dad. By the way, your dad's on here. I just have a picture of them. I just have a picture of your parents on standby. They're on the what is it? The car. They're on the little car that's stuck in the path. You really want to run it over now?
I think what's also so weird about that too is that she has a picture of Becca's dad and Emma's mom.
Yeah.
But there's like 12 kids there. So
I think what's weird about that is the fact that she had pictures of their parents on standby, like framed pictures, like
yeah, well, when you
like photogenic, like professional photography picture. Like, did she go on Louis Book or whatever? Is that what they have here at this school, Louis Book
yeah.
or Facebook or whatever? Like,
I get just Louis. They just have their Louis, and it comes with an in-app chat,
Louis Book.
social media. No.
But, like, did she go on their Facebook and like steal those and print those out and then frame them just for this moment? Like, that's weird. That's if I went to a school and they had a picture of my mom on standby, I'd be a little weirded out by that.
They might miss their mama and dada. You don't know. Anyway, so then, so this is going on. Then we go to the opening seeds of our C plot, and Jason and Lewis, not Louis. His name is Lewis. He invented.
He
the
has
Louis.
a Louis, but his name is Lewis.
I just love, my I Steve Jobs 7.
I think you mean an eye jobs.
An eye jobs.
Yeah. Or I guess it'd be. Well, his name is Lewis. So I guess it'd be an eye Stevie. A Stevie.
I
Yeah,
Stevie,
a Stevie.
yeah. Little eye Stevie. Anyway, okay. So they're sitting in their office, which, in case we didn't touch on this before, I feel like it's very important to note. Their office is part of the in-school apartment. So if you get called to the principal's office or the dean's office, whatever he is, you need to go to his house.
That's really weird.
That's so weird.
There's a lot of weird stuff that happens at this school. You know, like this. The more I look at this school, the more it's like little odd.
You definitely have to sign a waiver to get enrolled. I'm positive. You have to, because they're just setting themselves up for lawsuits. I'm just gonna call it. Anyway, yeah. So, there's like a big NASA launch deal, if you recall, a while back when we first discovered the cave. The satellite that they're launching is going to like pose a problem somehow in the evil stuff that Judy
I don't really remember
doing.
what it's gonna. I don't remember what it's gonna do at all, but it's gonna mess up their evil plan.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't think they remember what it's gonna do at all.
I don't think so. I don't think
the
they
writers.
really know.
I don't think the writers remember what it was gonna do at all.
Honestly, I don't think we really even know what the evil plan is until like the end of season 2. So I don't know what they're up to. But yeah, she's like telling Jason, like, you need to go to this launch. So now back at the office, he's like telling his dad, like, so I was thinking, I'm the dean of the school. I should get more involved and I should go to the NASA launch. And he's like, maybe next time. Keeps writing here and keeps doing his whatever work he's doing. And then he's like, ugh, Dad, you don't trust me. Treat me like a little kid. And I'm like, well, you're acting like a kid and you're like 42. So, like, maybe within reason. So there's that. Now we go back to the election, and I think this might have happened a bit earlier, but it doesn't really matter that much. But Brooke lets Daniel and Parker and Alex know, like, hey, is like, I hope you guys are ready for the debate. And they're like, what debate? Because after Parker blew it with Nancy, they were like, okay, just smile and wave. But now there's a debate. So he can't really just smile and wave, can he? So for the debate, so now they're going to have a debate.
And what's interesting about this debate is it's like everyone shows up and they're clapping and they're really into it. They're really into this debate, which is just, it's amazing. Like I know, you make fun of the recent political debates that have happened, but you want to see real clown college debate, you should watch this one.
Yeah, it's weird, like how like weirdly heated it gets, and it has like a few like slow clap worthy moments and whatnot. But like they're wearing suits.
Yeah.
Uh, they're just real. Like this is a real deal
I like how
debate.
much everyone seems to care about this, because I remember when I was like, when I did, school, I don't know, administrative activities, like nobody cared at all about, who was president or whatever, who was the student council president or whatever. Like no one cared. Like
No, as
not a single bit. No one cared about it. There was no debate. No one was showing up for that. Like people had better
yeah.
things to do in their spare time. Nobody was invested in this.
Well, I know that this is like a leadership school, so like you would want like leaders in
I
front of this, and so like I
I guess
get
that's fair.
that.
I'm
Uh,
yeah.
The only thing that I think is weird though is like, and again, I've never been to a leadership school. I don't even know if that's a real
Is
thing
that
to
a
be
real
honest.
thing? I'm
But
gonna Google that while you're talking.
yeah, but most things when there's like a team captain of like a group project or whatever, that usually winds up being the person who's stuck with all the stuff that nobody wants to do.
Yeah.
It's more like, like I don't know, like if you're like the captain of the PTA, that's just because like nobody wants to participate, but
Yeah.
there's one person who does, and they just kind of get stuck doing everything. As
Hmm.
an example, I'm sure that's not always the
Well,
case.
I mean, I guess maybe you would want to be
Yeah,
captain of this, because apparently you get to choose the cleaning supplies for the dorms.
that's true. That's
Oddly
true.
enough, I guess maybe the
Yeah,
maybe the captain has way more power than like we usually typically think of. Maybe
yeah,
that's why this is such a big deal. Because like who knows, maybe if they elect a bad captain, he's gonna change, I don't know, their sleeping habits or something.
I
They're gonna go
guess.
full Stanford prison experiment on them.
Oh no. We all share one twin bed now, guys.
Oh no.
My team now. I don't know why he did that. I don't know. Anyway, so the Daniel and Brooke are the like campaign managers, and they're like prepping their candidate, right? So Brooke is like telling Sophie like, okay, remember you're smart, you're confident. He's Daniel's guy, so they're gonna fight dirty. Brace yourself, basically.
Hmm.
And then Daniel's like, remember you're my friend, and if you get back into a corner, here's some mud you can start slinging. Um, basically is what is like the deal there. Also, just want to point out they do a lot of nodding for this whole
Yeah,
bit.
they
Like they're
nod
just like
tons.
mm-hmm, 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 like to each
Hmm.
other,
Hmm.
to the camera, just a lot of nods to make sure that they're in agreement with everything that's happening. Now we're back at the trolley problem, and everyone's arguing, and then the teacher's like, "You thought this was hard? I'm about to make it even harder." On the bus or the train or whatever, there's a man about to discover the cure for cancer. You kill him, you're gonna delay his research for years.
I'm just gonna say that like at this point, like what is even happening in this trolley problem? Like I feel like we've lost the trolley
Yeah,
problem.
cause like
Because
they
we
keep
cannot
adding.
possibly know he's gonna be the one creating a cure for cancer. Like the thing
Yeah,
that drives me crazy about this trolley problem thing is that like
the
the
only
only way it
way.
really works is because we don't know who these people are, which makes it morally ambiguous as to whether or not we should let them live because we don't know them.
Yeah, I
Right?
mean,
That's what it's
even
it's it's checking your morality of like, here's some people you don't know who could die. Are you going to let more people you don't know die, or are you going to let less people you don't know die? Is every life important even if you don't, know who they are? But whenever you
yeah.
start throwing stuff like this in, it's like there's kind of more of a clearer choice of who should live and who should die. It's
Well, And that's what, well, because like when they were just gonna be like, well, we'll just save our family then because we know them, and they're like, oh. Then, and also, like, this is one thing too, because it's supposed to like spark discussion, but like the writers didn't really write a discussion. They just wrote them making, they keep making decisions right away without
Hmm.
thinking or talking amongst themselves at all.
I
And
like
then
three
the
of them
teacher's
talk. Like
like,
somebody just says something and without like any discussion about it whatsoever.
yeah. And then like the teacher's like, you sure about that? Because what about this? And it's like, okay, well, it seems like you're leading the answer to nowhere because you don't have a, there's no right or wrong answer, but you keep like leading them away from wherever they're at.
Yeah. It's like,
Because
oh,
like,
you're about to come to a decision? Well, I'm about to throw another curveball.
because it's
Now
also
what do you
weird too
think?
because
What if there was 30 kittens?
I
Uh-huh.
think,
On the other one then, huh? What if there were 30 kittens there? You gonna let 30 kittens die? But let me tell you right
it's,
now, one
yeah.
a mother cat was pregnant with 30 more kittens. Mm-hmm. But on the other one is a dog who's pregnant with 50 puppies. One of those puppies has the gene to cure AIDS. Hmm? You gonna let that one die? It's like, all right, okay.
Like, because I get, because it's also weird too because like each show, like at a certain point, I think they just give up on curriculum pretty much, or like it becomes like less frequent. But right now they kind of have like a lesson per episode. But like
Hmm.
this is their day of instruction. They're not going to do anything else with this trolley problem, and I think that's why she keeps adding to it. Because they pretty much get the point right away. Because the answer to the trolley problem is that it sucks. Like that's the answer.
Yeah.
Like so she is like, um, so like at first when they hear about the trolley problem, they're like, man, you know, whatever we do, people die. That's awful. But I guess like it's better if more people survive than less people. But I'm not really happy with the result either way, because it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that's kind of where they're at from the beginning. But then she keeps adding these people. And now they're like having like a parent off at one point because um Becca's like, I don't know your mom. I guess we'll have to kill my dad because I don't want to stop cancer. Then Emma's like, well, my mom's a waitress and she worked hard for me to go to this school. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know. Is you going to the school? What are you gonna do, Emma? Because now the pressure's on you. Apparently, since this guy was gonna cure cancer. Apparently,
I mean, so the whole point of the trolley problem is to spark a discussion about morality, but as we've already pointed out, they don't really discuss it. They just kind of come to an immediate conclusion, and that's just kind of the end of that. And after they do that, she gives them another weird thing.
and yeah, they just sort of
And it
kind
just
of
keeps getting more ridiculous. And then it's like, well, he's gonna get the cure for cancer. What do you do? And then they're just
yeah.
like, yeah.
So then, um, oh, okay. So then we go to Lewis and Judy. They're having a little meal together, and or I guess they're not really eating anything. They're just sitting at a table in the cafe. Anyway, whatever.
As you do.
You know, I like to sit in places with friends.
Mm-hmm.
One time me and you sat over there, and one time we were feeling real crazy, we sat over there.
It was wild. I'm never doing that again. It was kind of a little too excitement. Too much excitement,
Yeah.
you know?
We'll go back over to the first spot.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay, so then so Lewis is like, man, I can't believe my son. He wants to go to this NASA launch, and I said no, and he thinks I don't trust him. So Judy tells a story about how she how like she got Daniel swim lessons, but he cried in the water, so she didn't let him go. And the point was like sometimes as a parent, you just gotta trust your kid and give him a chance to fail or succeed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
which is like good, but like also I feel the need to reiterate Jason's a grown man. It worked. I guess that he's like, yeah, thanks, Judy. So now we go to the debate, and Sophie, she's confident, she's poised, she's intelligent. She's like, I want to be your team captain, and I know that we can really do good things, y'all. Um, and then Parker, I always want to call him Daniel. Parker is like, well, I learned a lot from Daniel, and I'm pretty good at sports, guys. And nobody's really responding to him naturally. So then Daniel and Alec are like, yeah, yeah, like to like hype
Oh.
everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody gets really hyped about it. And it's kind of awkward, but it's fine. So Parker realizes, well, I don't know. Does he realize it on his own, or does Daniel give him like the signal with his eyes? I don't. It's the one or the
Gives
other.
him the old eyeballs.
Yeah, he gives him the eyeballs, and Parker's like, well, maybe I am just a sports guy, but I'm not a liar like Sophie is. And everyone's like, what are you talking about?
Dun, dun.
Here is the big scandal. Now, it was pretty core shaking, if I do say so
It's a
myself.
big scandal.
When Sophie first applied to join the Greenhouse Academy, she wanted to be a raven.
What?
Yeah.
Not an eagle?
Who could think of such a thing? And then he's like, yeah. So basically, I guess he's like, so she just settled for us. She doesn't even want to be here. And then Sophie immediately flips it around in her favor because she's like, so while everyone is like, what? I can't believe it. She's like, you know what? It's true. I'm not going to deny it. I did. And I was a little disappointed at first, even to be assigned an Eagle. But then I got to know the team. And it's not just about sports. You guys are really smart. And since I joined, I never looked back. And I was like, you don't have a choice, Sophie. You're an Eagle now. I don't think
Not
you can
really.
change.
Yeah, I don't think you can really decide which one you want to be, can you?
But either way, it's like, I mean, she's got best friends here. She's actively on the team. She's trying to be team captain. Even if she, like, used to like the Ravens more, it doesn't really matter because she lives here now. But anyway, everyone's like, yeah, and they're applauding. And then she gives, like, Parker a, like, look like, thought you got me? Think again, bruh.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So now we're back to the trolley problem again because somehow they're still talking about this.
I mean,
And
this is
then-
their only lesson for the entire day.
Yeah, they gotta stretch it
They
out.
gotta
wanna-
stretch this out for at least 20 minutes.
So then Leo was like, look, it doesn't matter what we do, it's gonna be bad either way, so, you know. And then Haley's like, yeah, when things get tough, that's what you do. You just want to back away. And then Max, like, leans into Jackie's like, is she still talking about the trolley problem? And Jackie's like, I don't know.
Wink, wink, nod, nod to the audience.
Yeah. Like we didn't get that
No, we
with
didn't
the
get
fact
it.
that she's been shooting daggers at Leo this
We didn't
whole
get it.
time.
We didn't get it at all. Nope.
So then, Haley's like, and you know what? My dad's an FBI agent, and he'd find a way to save those people. He'd get them out of the car and let the train crash into it.
I like how I mean, like, at this point, I guess it's anything goes, but I like how her solution to this is just to, like, not...
To cheat.
To just cheat. But you know what? I don't even know if I can blame her anymore with all the nonsense they're just throwing into this. Like,
Yeah, like you added a cancer professor and kittens and mom, you know. I could add in my FBI agent
yeah, if
dad.
we're just gonna, if there's no rules to this game and we can just make up whatever garbage we want, and yeah, all right, my dad's an FBI guy and he's just gonna get him out of there. It's like
Yeah.
kids playing with action figures. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
my John Cena toy is better than the train, and he's gonna kick it away.
Yeah.
RKO's gonna come out of nowhere, and he's gonna do an RKO on that train. Trolley? Where are we? Whatever it is, I don't remember.
Yeah. So she wins, and then she storms off. And where
Does she win? Is that winning?
I guess.
Was that a win?
I think she's counting it as one.
Okay. All right.
So she storms off, and I guess school's over for the day. I don't know. She left.
School's out for the afternoon.
Oh yeah, so she goes to the beach, and then Alex is at the beach, and they both got thinking to do. So where do they go? They go to the beach where there's like a plaque for their mom because she discovered a meteor there. And I think that's part of like what the cave is. It's all connected. And as they're coming, they're talking, they're walking down. Judy's about to come out of the cave. And then she sees them and she's like, oh, whoop, can't be seen. So she puts her hand on the cave and zooms back in. And somehow they don't hear rocks whirring, like open and closed right next to them.
It's pretty wild.
Like, I don't know. I think that would sound like a little bit like maybe like a mild earthquake or something.
Just
Because
a
they're
little
on the
bit.
beach. So they'd be like, oh wow, what was that? That was weird. And then they go over
What
and
was
the
that
cave
noise?
is. Yeah, and then the cave chase like just like dismiss it, but it's weird they didn't even acknowledge it at all. But so they're talking, and then if we weren't confused about how everyone was feeling, they just have them have this talk so they could just explain it to the audience. So Haley's mad that she says Leo kissed me and now he's been ghosting me, and I'm like, you kissed him and he said he wasn't in the mood for anything serious. He didn't ghost you. I mean, he did. I guess he waited a bit to tell you, but that's because he didn't realize he needed to tell you. And then when he became aware that you were confused, he was like, oh, okay. No, I'm not interested in a relationship with you, but you were having a bad day and you kissed me. I'm not going to be like, hey, ew, get off me, I guess. So, like, at first, my first go through for the show, I'll be honest, I was like, Leo, you're such a jerk right now. But, like, now that I'm saying it out loud, like, you don't have to go out with somebody just because they like you. As long, like, but you do have to be honest. And so he passes that test this time around, Team Leo. Bad Haley. That is my declaration.
Oh, I agree.
Thank you. I'm glad. And Alex, his thing is he's like, oh, Parker's gonna lose, and I kind of want to vote for Sophie because she's actually gonna be good at this job, and I don't know what to do. And it's like, Alex, you literally could have done nothing. You went to Daniel. You were like, hey, you need to run for this election. Get Parker to do it so that you could still be captain in your own way behind the scenes. Wahaha. And now you're like, man, that was dumb. Parker's so unqualified to do this, so Sophie should do it. Ugh. But it's like, if you sat in your seat quietly 2 days ago, there wouldn't be an election. Parker wouldn't have abysmally failed.
I like how this podcast has devolved into me like just listening to you intently and nodding, and then I'm like, wait a minute, no, she can't see me nod. She can't see me nodding, and then I have to speak up. I forgot this is an audio thing. I have to talk in this.
Oh gosh, we'll just start recording you, and there'll be like a live feed of like.
Yeah, we just get a webcam on me just so I can just see me nodding.
Yeah, instead of kind of friends, we'll just call it Matt Listens.
Matt listens. But here's the thing, just to switch things up, I'll have no audio, just video, and I'll just nod along.
So sometimes we'll see your mouth moving because I heard you say something.
You'll see my mouth moving, but you won't hear anything from me.
Yeah. So then they don't really solve anything. They just told each other their problems and then they go off to solve them respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Haley doesn't really do it. She just, last we see her in the episode, she's just continuing to glare at Leo, and he's like, oh.
As you do. Can you blame her?
Yeah. Well, I guess to wrap them,
yeah, I can actually.
I can't. Leo. Even though I was just on his side for like 5 minutes. But anyway, Yeah, so then Judy, when she went into the cave, she's talking with Marcus, and he's like, so is Jason going to be on the launch? And then she's like, I did what I had to do.
I know, which makes it sound so sexual, but it's not. She just talked to him. Makes
She
it
was
sound
just
like she
like,
like slept with him or something, but nah,
it's
she didn't do that at all.
really. Because it's like, I did what I had to do with my feminine wild. But like, all that happened was they sat in a public place, mind you. And he was like, so my son wants to do this thing. And I don't know if he should. Well, sometimes I thought my son shouldn't do things, but then I realized he should. Huh. You're onto something there, lady. Okay. That's what happened. That's what she had to do. um, I don't I don't even know where to go from there. But then so Jason he gets to go. And so he goes to the Raven house and he's like, okay, Haley, Leo, you're coming with me to the NASA launch tomorrow. And then she's like, ugh, I gotta go with this guy. And that's that for them. The Eagles, it closes off with a sad thing. I think this is sad. Alex is telling Daniel, like, look, you could be a loser, or you could have shift your support to Sophie, and then you can be like a respectable man, like you're supporting womankind.
You're supporting women's suffering.
Yeah, suffering because of suffrage.
That was I saw the Zombieland 2 movie with my mom last night, and the thing I remember the most was, yeah, women had to fight for their rights. Haven't you ever heard of women suffering? Now every time I think of suffrage, I think of women suffering.
So then they're like, yeah, and then Daniel's like, you're onto something there, kid, but like, what about Parker? Oh, he'll be relieved. He looks so miserable at the debate. Then in comes Parker, big smile. He's like, hey, so I've been doing some thinking about this. And I was like, oh, good. Maybe you've got a platform now. We could turn this debate around and you could just like be like, hey, I was nervous before, but here's what I'm going to offer you guys. And maybe some of you will vote for me instead. No, here's what he's been thinking after that awfully sad debate. He's like, so guys, thinking after this election, taco party to celebrate. I no. No,
I don't think.
Parker.
Yeah, I don't think he's got his priorities in the right spot, to be honest.
Let's maybe taco party to eat away my shame.
Eat away the failure.
Cause you're not president, you're not team captain, Parker. You're nothing. You're not even Daniel's friend.
You're going real hard on Parker, dang.
He failed.
You're going real hard on him.
He should be lucky he's still in the school. This is a leadership academy, not a loser academy.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was funny. Oh my goodness.
You went ham on that poor boy.
So, and so then Daniel's like, hey, basically he just tells him the plan, and then we cut to Parker giving his support over to Sophie really sadly, and like he doesn't sound like he wants to. He's like, so I guess Sophie's gonna, I think that'd be good for there to be a girl captain.
He almost sounds ashamed.
He sounds real sad. Well, he wanted a taco party. He thought he earned that.
He could still get his taco party. It's just not going to be for him winning. That's all.
Well, this is a better taco party, isn't it? It's more like a I respect women taco party.
Is that what this is?
I guess.
The Taco Bell party of respecting women.
Women.
Women. Women's.
Yeah, womankind. So, there's one more scene in this episode.
You know what, Zax? I think whenever me and you meet up, we're gonna have to go to a Taco Bell party for respecting women. I think that's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
It'll
Because
be
you respect me so much.
me, you, Bob, whoever else is all around. We'll just all go to Taco Bell for respecting women.
Respecting Women Wednesday.
I love that. That's great.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So. Wham. Okay, so last thing that happens, Brooke goes over to Alex, who's sitting by himself, because even though he did all this basically to be Daniel's friend, he still really hasn't made any friends in the house, so that's kind of sad. Haley's kind of got like a few.
That's kind of sad.
Could
groups. Probably summarize this entire show.
Yeah, that could be just every episode of
that could be the tagline of every episode. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, actually, you're right about that. So, Brooke goes over to him and she's like, "Hey, so you're the reason that they gave it over to Sophie, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You're also the reason they did it in the first place." But whatever. So I don't like that Alex gets to be like the hero of the story when he's the villain who wrote it. And so yeah, so that's that. But then she like puts her hand on his leg or something, and we get the best image in the show. It is Daniel leaning back and looking at them smugly taking a drink. And he does not look away. He doesn't blink. The whole time the cup raises to his lips as he's watching this. And he's like, I don't know what's going on there. I don't think I can trust it. And I think that might be one of my favorite things. Well, that's... Daniel, I think, is... he contributes to my favorite moments in the show across the board. Like the whole getting tased. Roasting Alex on opening day. Just everything, I think. He's just really...
It's pretty great.
Yeah. Daniel... He's a bad boy, but he's also a low-key best boy to me.
When are we gonna get the fabled Zach's boy rating list here? From bad boy to best boy.
Coming out this June in Barnes and Nobles everywhere.
So I'm waiting for that book where Zach rates every boy from bad boy to best boy.
Yeah. And is it like a scale, like is it like a spectrum, or is it just like you can be one or the other? So it's like
I'm like, it's like
best boy.
Yeah, it's like I go through the book and it's like a picture of like Brad Pitt, and underneath it's like Zach's rating bad boy or best boy, and like one is it's got like a big bad boy or best boy on all of them.
Yeah. And it'll be a picture of me giving like one thumbs up for best boy and like sideways wagging two thumbs up for bad boy, because you're so bad that I gotta wag my fingers around.
I really wish books could have gifs in them. I really want a gif of you wagging your fingers for bad boy.
Bad boy.
In the book.
Yeah, in the book. You know what? That's going to be the next invention of the future. You just wait. Someone's going to do that now.
Zach's bad boy or best boy, or gifts and books?
Gifts and noble. Okay, so that was episode 7. And you'll hear about episode 8 from us pea soon.
Pea soup. You'll hear about it from his pea soup.
Yeah. Slurp it up, people. This is Greenhouse. That's gonna be our new sign out.
Slurp it up, people. This is Greenhouse.
Yeah. That's it. Okay.
I like that one.
Alright. Thank you guys so much for listening. And be sure to like, and subscribe. Okay, bye.